Hey, welcome to those of you watching in the future. It's me, and I'm here. I'm just trying to figure out. Can't mute myself. That won't help. I feel like my mic is weird, so when people start hopping on here, I'm gonna make sure that it's on. But I just thought, hey, let's hang out. Let's chill. Let's spend some time together. It'd be fun. So we're gonna give a little bit of time for people to come on and hang out. Flip this to the live chat. Tamara, I'm well. How are you? Tamira? Let me know how to pronounce your name correctly. Welcome. You're the first one to comment. Thanks for being here. I hope I said your name correctly. Get the phone off my computer. I am not good in the fact that I cracked my phone screen in my sleep 2 nights ago. I think it fell off my bedside table, so that was unfortunate. Like while I was asleep, I must have knocked it off. Hi Corey. Hi Sue. I hope you're all well. Oh, Matt. Hey. How are you? That's lovely. The first Tamara. Tamara's correct. Okay, wonderful. Hi, Hirmin. I hope that's correct. Hirmin. VK, Rain. Hello, everybody. Everybody rolling in. Matt, you're the first one in. Let's just launch into something like Matt. Since people are popping in, Matt is a screenwriter or just a writer in general. I can't say you specifically just do screenwriting, but like what is your hottest writing take? Like, let's just start this off with controversy, Matt. What's your hottest writing take? I want to know if I agree with it or disagree with it. While you're typing that, Oli Michaela, see, I remembered how to pronounce your name. Currently in final exam for my med students, so can't stay, but wanted to say hi to everyone. Well, hello. I hope that goes really, really well. And thank you for your work in such an important field. I appreciate what you're doing. Hello, Ludmila. Corey probably talking to Oli Michaela there. Yes, good luck. We're just waiting on Matt's hot screenwriting take to just throw itself headfirst into this live chat. I hope you appreciate that I just put you on the spot, Matt. I hope you really enjoy that. You're welcome for doing that. I'm proud of my decision. Yeah, so it's been a long week. I've been doing a lot of writing this week. I spent Wednesday was 5 hours in a coffee shop just breaking down my screenplay, which Matt will get this. Anybody here that's tried to write something? Hireman, I also cannot wait to see 1 million subscribers on my channel. That would be great. We're working on it. Yes, Maheen, the AMAs. I forget when. Is somebody drop in the comments? When are those? Because I totally forgot. Oh, Matt. That is a hot take, Matt. Okay, so for those of you that do not know what a bold slug line is, I'm going to read you the definition of a slug line. Okay, so you need to understand just because there's some context here. So we're just going to go with slugline.co. That's not loading. A line of abbreviated text at the beginning of each scene in a screenplay that describes the location and time of day. That is according to Wiktionary. Okay, so that's the Wiktionary. That's the definition. And so basically, it's what you've seen. Yeah, Matt, you went very controversial here. It's when you see, like in a screenplay, it says like INT, which stands for interior. Interior, Cedric's office, morning would be maybe how we'd write this scene, right? Some people really like to bold those. Matt, I do not bold them because I think, to me, when I'm reading a screenplay, it distracts my eye. And to any of you that want to write screenplays, the last thing you want to do is have a director, a producer, a financer, an actor, whoever's reading the script. You do not want to make it harder for them than it needs to be, because we are very lazy and we don't want to put in work. And so that's a thing. Michaela, thank you. I hope you enjoy. I'm glad you're able to stay. Okay, thank you. You could tell that I didn't know what that word was. Well, I'm sorry that they make you mad, but I hope things go really, really well. So Matt comes in with a screaming hot take. The bold slug lines suck. I just find them a bit distracting and a bit messy visually on the page, and so that would be my my response on that. But that is, in fact, that is a hot take. Maheen, what time are the AMAs? Is that this Sunday? Because I knew they were doing Butter with Megan Thee Stallion. I didn't know they were doing My Universe. So that's super exciting to find out. Corey, it's about 9:15 in the morning here. Now, Cillian, hello back to Sweden. How are you? I hope you're good. I want you all to know that I did a really fun podcast this week. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I did a podcast. I don't know why Sweden made me think of, I'll tell you why. It's like a comedy podcast where I basically was told I'm in charge of my own country and I could put the country wherever I wanted. And I had to make all the decisions about it. And so I made it like it's this island in the middle of the Mediterranean. But it's got like fjords, like it's got like Scandinavian landscapes on the island. And I'm really proud of it. And we called it Naboo after Star Wars. But that's why Sweden made me think of it, was because I took some fjords and whatnot. Joy, I am going to watch more Hua Chen Yu. I'm very excited. He is very, very good. I think my next one's probably going to be Fake Monk. That's what a lot of people were saying. That's what a lot of people wanted my first reaction to be. I really liked Hua Chen Yu. I think the issue was, I think I reacted to him while I was still in Washington. So I came back and shot the film, and then I had the car accident. So things kind of got thrown off. So sorry, I haven't done him in a bit. It's really, I would love to do like a YouTube video a day, but I just don't have time for that. So it's really hard to balance all the artists that I want to do and want to react to and that people are recommending. It's hard to work new artists in. So I appreciate all of you understanding that and kind of being there. Am I all healed up from the accident? For the most part, I am. I'm not healed up from Matt's wild, bold slug line suck hot take that he just threw in here. I asked him to, and now I'm like, why would you do that? Yeah, I'm for the most part, I'm healed up. My concussion, as you can probably tell with my focusing, is still a little bit off. So my focus can kind of shift at times, or sometimes I'll just kind of lose train of where I'm going with things, or my brain will just kind of skip out for a sec. But for the most part, concussion's way better. It was a rough couple of weeks for sure, with some memory issues, things like that. My ribs are still a little bit sore from where I cracked them, but for the most part, it's just kind of uncomfortable. And neck. My neck is still very tense, and probably will be for another month or two from the whiplash, but much, much, much better. Much better. Thank you for asking. You blame me, the insomnia on it being 1 a.m. Cheers to that. That is a very fair thing to blame it on. I don't blame you at all. Down in Sydney. I really want to go to Australia just because it seems really cool. Like I want to go. Obviously not right now, but in the near future. Ideally, I'd love to go. And then we can hang out, Matt, and we can write screenplays, and neither of us are going to bold our slug lines, and everybody else can just deal with it. Karen, I'm glad I'm back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoy. Hussein, there will be a new So Yang reaction coming. I'm not sure how soon it's going to be. Again, I got really behind with these last few weeks, and again, like, it's tough with all of you because I know you care very deeply about my career, or at least most of you do. And I really, really appreciate that. And you've shown that, and you've exemplified that, and it's been really, really great. And while I have some of you here, I'm in a movie that just came out on Amazon Prime this week. It's on Amazon Prime, iTunes, who knows what else. Oh, MWF, you're here. I'm glad you're up. You should go to bed if you want to, though. That's late, 3:15. But I'm in this movie Walking On that released on Amazon Prime this week through 1091 Pictures. And it's great. It's a really great film. It's about a young woman that's trying to make her college's basketball team. I play her boss in the film. I'm not a huge role, but it was my first role after moving to Philly. And I made some really, really great friends, including one of my absolute best friends in Philly, who's the director. Her name is Lydia. She's incredible. So I would encourage you all, go on Amazon Prime, check out Walking On, and support an indie film that is really, really well done. And I'm really, really proud of them. Anyway, I can't tell you guys everything that's going on in my career all the time because of non-disclosure agreements and because XYZ, right? Fill in the blank. So I appreciate all of you understanding, because I have like a lot of deadlines that I can't talk about, or sometimes self-imposed deadlines, that sort of thing. So, I'd love to do more reactions, but right now, and Matt of all people is going to understand the bags under my eyes when I say this, but I currently have 3 feature screenplays that are in various stages of being completed of new drafts. Um, a TV show that I'm co-writing, a TV show that I'm kind of not overseeing, that's too broad of a word, but helping work out, and 12 feature scripts that I am developing as concepts, with another 2 that I'm actively writing right now. And that's just the screenwriting side of things, let alone directing, editing, acting, auditions. I have 5 auditions to shoot today, um, and YouTube. So I'm really doing my best with this, you know? Um, Sue, Walking On is on Amazon Prime. You can check that out there, as well as my film, Could Be the World Within, which I know a lot of you know. But if you're in the United States, I don't know if Walking On is US only or if it's worldwide. But if you're in the US, my film, Could Be the World Within, can be seen on Amazon Prime. I'm aware that it will hopefully be out in other places quite soon, but I can't say anything specifically yet until I get more details. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm in that are available, you know. Let's see. Some other people asked some questions. So I have production distribution sorted for some of my screenplays. Yes and no. Can't say too much more than that, but yes and no. I'm doing my best on it. It's tough right now with COVID. It kind of wrecked the whole entertainment industry for the most part, but the tough part is getting money. So what you need to do with film is get a producer on board, which is tough because you need to have money up front. Get a production company on board, which is tough because you need to have actors, or get an actor, which is tough because you need to have money. So it's kind of a catch-22. Like, you need to do all of those things. So we're kind of working our way through all that and trying some various things and making good progress. And again, there's a lot that I can't talk about. There's a lot of exciting things, and we've had some big-name actors you all would know, that have read scripts, passed on scripts, been interested in things, and it's just it's one of those situations where you take it day by day, and hopefully eventually one of them says yes. That ultimately that's the goal. And it's tough, but the phrase, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they probably won't, but they might. And you have to live in that little sliver of might, which is tough. Glucose Lover, once everything opens up post-COVID, any country on my bucket list I want to visit? Germany. I really want to go to Germany. My last name is Gagel, right? That's very German. Originally from Bavaria, is where my ancestors were in Germany. Duh. On my dad's side is what I was trying to say. But yeah, so I really want to go to Germany just for that. And I'm Lutheran, so it's kind of the birthplace of Lutheranism, and the food, and it's beautiful. I speak some German, so I really, really want to go to Germany. But I'd love to travel in general. I really want to go to England and see some of my friends over there and hang out with them. But I would love to travel, but it's even beyond COVID. It's just like when I have money, because I don't have a lot of money. Which I know you have the perception of actors or whatever, but there's a reason, I'm not in the big budget stuff. I'm very proud of the indie work that I've done, but it's not stuff that's feeding my 401k. It's stuff that's, ideally it buys me groceries every month. That's kind of the goal. Karen, thank you. I will, I'll gladly do all of that. And the creation of SETI. SETI's got to get back in some videos here. We need that to happen. Yeah, no, I don't feel rushed to react, and I appreciate that. It's less rushed to react and more like I really enjoy spending time with all of you and, doing that. And I want to be able to continue to do that. Corey, I'm not in LA. I'm currently living in Rhode Island. So yeah, other side of the country, but still an ocean. So I lived in Philly for the past 2 years, Columbus, Ohio before that, which is sort of in the Midwest. So it's on the eastern half of the country. But it's about 14 hours driving from here, straight west. So I'm in Rhode Island right now, which is about 2 hours northeast of New York City. So not far at all, but kind of up in that northeast. I'm in New England. I'm about an hour away from Boston. So that was very. I'm trying to not pick up the accent here. About an hour away from Boston. You know, you go park the car. Lily, you went to Scotland. I would love to go to Scotland. Love to go to Ireland. I have some family that's Irish, British as well. On, I think my mom's side, there's some Irish, some British. So I'd love to go there. That would be so great. You got to see the family castle. Okay, well, we don't have a family castle. That's incredible. I need to go to Scotland with you. Yes, Corey, in the Black Forest. Absolutely. Hussein, I have not auditioned for a Marvel movie. I have auditioned for some, I don't want to say what they are. I didn't get them, obviously. But I have auditioned for some really big projects that you've heard of. Netflix, some other companies. Didn't get them. For the most part, lost them out to people that were already famous, which is the way it goes. But yeah, I've auditioned for it. And it's kind of one of those where pretty much with any audition, whether it's, I'm doing a student film or let's say it is a Marvel audition, if they call and they say, hey, we want you to audition for Harry Osborn, which I would answer that call. I just kind of do any audition with the expectation that I'm not going to book it, because it's really hard to book things and you're competing against a lot of people, and all you can really do is your best and hope that that's enough, and hope that they like what you had to do. And that's, all you can really do for it. Karen, yeah, it's the fun's falling through, getting movies up and going. It's really difficult. I mean, the fact that any movie has ever gotten made is a miracle. Even the ones we kind of make fun of where they're like, oh, that's a cash grab. It's still a miracle. Always a miracle every time. So it's tough. And right now the big thing is IPs, so having intellectual properties. So if you look at this bookshelf, obviously Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, what else is in there? Percy Jackson, Disney Plus is making those. There's been Edgar Allan Poe movies, The Odyssey. What else is down there? Dune, right? So there's a bunch of intellectual properties that have already been adapted, and so what they really want right now is people with IPs, which means you have to get the rights to the books, which means you need to have money. So, Maheen, I'm glad. Listen, Chris Paolini, I love Aragon, and if anybody on his page is, and I know he's trying to get a series made, like if you wanted to plug me to play Murtaugh, I'd be happy to do it. Thanks, Maheen. I didn't even see your comment. I would love to play Murtaugh. I would love to play Murtaugh. I would love to play Harry Osborn and Percy Jackson. I don't think I'm too old to play Luke. I've played college students, high school age students recently. So sorry, something, I don't know what's happening there. What was I saying? I totally lost my. Oh, I'd love to play Luke and Percy Jackson, but maybe I'm too old. I'm a little bit worried about that. So I'd settle for Hermes or Ares for sure. Something about playing like I play a lot of the kind of the bad guy. So that's, which is why I try to smile so much, because when I don't smile, I look like this. But it works. So, that's fun. Went camping and stopped in Balmoral Castle. Oh, you got stung by a bee. Oh, that's what you don't steal strawberries. That's a rule. Lily, it is tough. It is tough to just keep putting yourself out there for auditions and pitching, and you put your heart and soul into a screenplay and they don't even have interest. I mean, that's what it is. It's tough. It is tough. Hi, Jen. I'm glad you're here. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Hireman. All three Paddingtons say hello back. I love them all. Little things. I think I saw the trailer for Encanto. I haven't. I don't remember. That's animated, right? I think I saw it. I thought it looked really good. Did it come out this week, or was it like 2 or 3 weeks ago? Because I think I maybe watched it during my concussion, I think. MWF, hey, there's a lot of uncertainty in art as well. I can't do art to save my life, as you probably saw from SETI. But yes, it's really, really inconsistent and tough. Yes, Karen, correct. They're doing a season 2 of Squid Game, from what I've heard. I haven't seen Squid Game yet because the concussion made it really difficult to like translate things, even with subtitles. I watch everything with subtitles, but the concussion made it really hard to process that. So I haven't gotten to it yet, but I really, really want to. It would be stellar. Exactly. I've gotten Jeremy Renner like a lot. Holly, you have not missed much apart from Matt, who's a screenwriter that popped in here, dropping a real hot take about bolded slug lines and talking about books that I want to adapt for film and be in. Okatada, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your kind words. Hello back to Japan. I'm so glad that you're here and that you're hanging out. Good, Jim. I'm also looking forward. SETI is a masterpiece. I hope so. I'm also looking forward to Thanksgiving. My in-laws are coming in, and that's going to be delightful, and I can't wait. Yes, Cynthia, thank you. I would love to play Luke. I would love to play Ares. I would love to just be in them. I read the first Percy Jackson book a week after it was published. I think I was in 5th grade. I got it at a book fair. It's the only book I ever bought from a book fair. So yes, I loved all the Harry Potter books. I love Percy Jackson. I would recommend Aragon. Let's see. I'm like a trove of. I love young adult literature. Like, it's still my favorite. So, that's my thing. Any novel or book that I want to adapt into film? Yes. Yes, there is. Yes. There's several that are already optioned, so I can't get the rights to them. Station 11, which is my favorite novel, it's already got the option out, so I can't I can't try it. I'd love to do Gatsby. I'd love to play Gatsby 10 years from now. I don't know if I would want to direct that, but I'd love to direct it. I don't know if I'd love to direct it while playing Gatsby. That feels a little self-aggrandizing. Jem, yes, Stormlight Archives. Stormlight Archives would be outstanding. I would love to do that. I would love to do I was just thinking about this. Oh, this is going to be really obscure. I don't know if any of you read this, but not Percy Jackson. We were just talking about that. What's it? Charlie Bone, The Children of the Red King. It's the series that I read as a kid, and I loved it. And I really, really want to make them as films or as a show, preferably films. And I just can't. I've been looking over the last few days actually to try to find some contact info. I've been struggling to find it because I haven't really had time to kind of dig into it. But Charlie Bone, that was like my favorite book series when I was a kid. I'd love to try something. You know what I'd love to do? I think I've talked about this before on a live. You know what I would love to do, and this will never happen because Bill Watterson probably rightfully doesn't trust filmmakers to do his stuff right. I would love to make a Calvin and Hobbes film. I would love to make a Calvin and Hobbes film. Always. My pitch for this, and you shouldn't pitch things just on YouTube lives because people could steal it, but whatever, steal this. See if it works for you. Cheers. My idea with a Calvin and Hobbes film would be sort of think Toy Story 3, Christopher Robin, that sort of thing. So Calvin is older. Originally, I thought maybe he's like a young dad, but maybe he's even younger than that. But what it would happen is he's up in the attic, going through something, and he finds Hobbes for his daughter who's sick. Think like The Princess Bride too. The Princess Bride meets Christopher Robin. So it's called, yes, Corey, Charlie Bone, Children of the Red King is the name of the whole series. But Calvin finds his old stuffed Hobbes and decides to bring it down to his daughter and kind of tell the stories of what he used to do with Hobbes. But when we slip into that imagination, over time, it gradually becomes animation in the style of Calvin and Hobbes. So it's not live action at that point. It becomes that kind of 2D animated style, hand-drawn in the classic animation sense. And then we get pulled back out of it. And Calvin's got to go on this journey of rediscovering what it's like to be this kid with all these questions and all these concerns that adults don't even think about. Little bit along the lines of Mary Poppins Returns. It's kind of the classic, comeback idea. Garth Nix, he did, what is it? can't remember. I know the name. What's my favorite movie, Hireman? My favorite movie is Moulin Rouge, the musical with Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. Ewan McGregor is my favorite actor. Love Moulin Rouge. Other favorite films include Grand Budapest Hotel, The Impossible, which also stars Ewan McGregor. Star Wars, like the Star Wars films in general, obviously are up there. So those are all, like Lord of the Rings would be pretty high up there. Knives Out, pretty high up there. I don't know. Favorite movie's a tough idea. Keys to the Kingdom. That's what I was thinking of. You know what else I'd really love to do an adaptation of is Alex Rider, which were these books that were James Bond for kids, basically. Like it was like a teenage James Bond. I'd love to do an adaptation of that. No, MWF, I'm totally with you because it's Calvin and Hobbes is like this thing that we elevate. That's why so much like we don't see much of, like people struggle to see how that would be made because it's so beloved in the way that it so nailed the questions that we have as kids and pointed out some of the inconsistencies and flaws in the worldview of adults that think they know it all and they don't, and none of us do. And so I think that's what would be really important is Calvin kind of deconstructing this feeling of having known it all. And I think the thing that's really important if you were to do, for example, a Calvin and Hobbes film is you don't want to betray the character of Calvin. So you can't have him like, I can't see him being an accountant or being, maybe a lawyer because he was a bit argumentative, but any of it. Like he'd have to be something that kind of meets who he was as a kid, but he still kind of lost that, not childishness, but childlikeness, that sense of being a child. Corey, earlier a more recent Star Wars. I love all of Star Wars. There are certain ones that I don't, that I think have some flaws. I've done some, have I ever done a live? Or was that just hanging out with somebody? No, that was just a Zoom call I did. I've done rankings of all the movies. My top 3 Star Wars films, if this gives you a sense of what I think of Star Wars, my top 3 love Star Wars films are number 3 is, what did I put there? I think Rogue One. I think Rogue One is my number 3, which was not always the case when it first came out. Rogue One is my number 3. Number 2, and this is not, by the way, the ones that I think are the best. It's going to be my favorite, although I think these top 2 of my favorite are also the top 2 that I think are the best. My number 2 is Empire Strikes Back, which I think is the best film in the whole series. But it's my number 2. I think it's top 5 films ever made. Number 1, The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars film. So I know that's really controversial, but I'm going to stick to it. A lot of people have questioned me, and they've all lost the fight. Let's see. What else are people tossing in here? I do not deny the existence of the Aragon movie, Maheen, but I sure do prefer to hope that there will be different things in the future. How's that? I think the cast did their best. I think everybody working on it did their best. I just think it didn't work. Karen, yes, there's a form. There literally is a formula. There is a formula that we're given, and sometimes you have to stick within it, but I really prefer that we not. Holly, I have never heard of this series, The Door Within, but I'm very, very intrigued by it, so I'll have to look into it. My friend Matt Michelatis wrote a fantasy trilogy, so you have to check that out. It's called The Sunlit Lands. Rogue One, Jem, it's a great movie. Men and Chicken, I've never heard of it, but I'm very intrigued, Oli Michaela. Fangirl of Awesomeness. Have I watched any foreign films, shows? What were my thoughts on how they're different shot storytelling? So yes, I have watched some, mostly mainstream. I'm going to just fully admit that straight up. Some of my favorites, Roma, obviously Pan's Labyrinth, Parasite. All 3 of those, 3 of the greatest films I've ever seen easily. And I do think that they are very, very different in the way that they're shot. For example, take Pan's Labyrinth, which comes out of Latin America and Latin American literature, which is a subgenre that I really enjoy, is kind of the birthplace of what we call magical realism, which I found influencing my work quite a bit. And Guillermo del Toro is one of the greatest users of magical realism in cinema that I've ever seen. And so Pan's Labyrinth is this remarkable example of coloration, of using cinematography to craft a world, to tell a story, to mix horror and fantasy and all of these things together. It is brilliant. Pan's Labyrinth is brilliant. Parasite, some of the best cinematography I've ever seen, remarkable acting performances, an absolutely incredible film. Roma, black and white, camera almost never moves, very much like we're just watching a vignette, a slice of life. I love that, like Karen said, there's a formula for what we tend to expect in films, and I like that some foreign films don't have that as much. There's another one, I want to say it's Danish. Someone asked me about Danish films, didn't they? Have I seen any Danish films? I could have sworn I read that comment somewhere. Men and Chicken, was it in that comment with Men and Chicken? Maybe it was with Men and Chicken. I think, I can't be sure, but I think a movie that I watched called, I think it was called Trolls, maybe, is Danish. I don't remember if it was called Trolls or not. It was very, very weird. It was about two trolls that fall in love, and it was very, very weird. And again, it was important because it exposed me to this new way of functioning, in the same way that, for example, Dimash and BTS music videos have kind of exposed me to this new way of storytelling, or new shot ideas, or new ways of editing. So that's really great. Matt, you want to know my top 5 MCU films? Okay, let me try this. Top 5 MCU films. It's just like, I know what my number 1 is, but I have to. Natalie, I'm glad you're here. Hello back to Australia. Matt's there with you. Both of you in Australia, up pretty late. Let me top 5 MCU films. Just sitting here right now. Oh, you know what? I have a list of the ones that I've been rewatching lately. So let me look at what's there and see if that sparks any of what would be my top 5. Boy, those are some hot takes. I think that's pretty accurate, though. Yeah, I'm going to say, I think my top 3 here are probably in my top 5. Number 5, I'm going to give to Guardians of the Galaxy. It's this great offbeat humor, really, really fun, really nailed the characters, everything like that. Number 4, Captain America Civil War. Really, I think it elevated Marvel and took it to a new step, took it in a new direction. My number 3 and 2s are solely because, number 3, I'll go with that, solely because of how much of like an absolute fan I am of this particular hero. Spider-Man. I'm going to say Homecoming. No Way Home I really, really liked, but Homecoming was like, I just love Spider-Man, Number 2, I'm going to say Thor: The Dark World, which I know is, a hot take. I really liked Thor: The Dark World. I thought it was funny. I thought it was serious. I thought it had emotional weight and great acting and wonderful cinematography. And I really, really liked Thor: The Dark World. Number 1, Infinity War. Really great. Really well done film. So let's see. I missed a bunch of comments while I was trying to wrestle with that. Lily Duck, While You Were Sleeping. I feel like I've heard of maybe the movie. And the directing. I will gladly check that out. Oli Michaela, yes, The Eyes and Parasite. I got to see Parasite in theaters just before COVID hit, and everybody was just like screaming, and it's not even all that scary. It's just so tense. It's so good. Maheen, I feel like you accidentally phrased that perfectly. I appreciate Doctor Who. I just don't think it was for me, but I appreciated it. Like I love the Doctors. I love Matt Smith. I love David Tennant. I love Christopher Eccleston. I haven't seen anybody past that. It's a bit too B level for me and for my taste. That said, what I said when I was watching it and what I still think to this day is, I think when it comes to Doctor Who, when I have kids, I think I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to like watching Doctor Who with my kids. It feels like one of those. It's like the original Star Wars. It's like, it may not, I love the original Star Wars, but if that was the first one that I watched now, it may not click for me. But because I watched it when I was a kid, I loved it. Does that make sense? So I feel like that would sort of be my situation. Corey, that's a good idea. I might do that. Like most influential music videos. I really like that idea a lot. Oh, let's see. Hey, everybody, drink some water. Water break. Matt, I'm sorry I made you drop your jaw at the Dark World. I just really like it. I think it's really good. I love Chris Hemsworth. He is very attractive and a great actor. And Natalie Portman is great. I just think Dark World took the opportunity to take Marvel in a slightly more serious director while still employing the camp that it does so well. Oh, that's cool, Michaela. That's really cool that you got to see the Darker Light, that they filmed that there. One of the cool things we did with my film, Kadia the World Within, which you can see right there, we filmed on my college campus in this theater, and then we actually did a premiere in that theater. And so when the scene popped up with this like wide shot of the room we were all sitting in, it was like sitting in a mirror, right? Everybody in the room went, "Oh!" That was really, really cool. Doctor Who. Hey, Cheryl, I'm not saying Doctor Who's not good. I think Doctor Who is great. It just wasn't quite my. So I said this the other day. I want to say on the podcast that I was recording, but I said it a couple times. Just because I don't like a certain type of food doesn't make it a bad food. In the same way that just because I maybe don't prefer Doctor Who doesn't make it bad. Like looking at Doctor Who, it is objectively a great show. It's great. It's really, really good. It does everything a good show's supposed to while breaking some rules and having fun with it. And that's really, really important. It's just not exactly my thing. You know what I mean? Um, Kenneth Branagh is a genius. You're absolutely correct, Maheen. Let's see, Doctor Who. It depends on what season. It's all very stylized. That is correct. You know, I didn't watch Fraggle Rock or Muppets or anything like that growing up. So I'm kind of catching up to it now. I saw Muppets Christmas Carol for the first time ever, like I think last year, maybe 2 years ago, but for the first time ever. So yeah, I grew up. I think some of you know this. I think I've talked about this before. I grew up pretty much exclusively watching nature documentaries, Andy Griffith, I Love Lucy. Let's see what else. I Love Lucy, Red Skelton, Gomer Pyle, USMC, that kind of thing. Like that's what I grew up on. Beverly Hillbillies, because we didn't have, we only had 3 channels or whatever. Maybe we expanded to 8 at some point. I don't know. Yes, Alexia, they did cut the song. I read about that because I was watching it and I was like, that scene was really weird. So I read about it and that made sense. Maheen, of course, I've seen Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock. It's so good. So good. I binged that so fast. You know, Kashelia, it's really weird. I did not watch a ton of musicals growing up. My dad did show me, like, we watched Phantom of the Opera when that came out in 06. Certainly Fiddler on the Roof, watched a lot of The Sound of Music growing up. So I kind of fell in love with musicals from that older style. But even to this day, I really haven't seen a lot. I didn't grow up, my town didn't have any theaters or anything. My high school did one musical a year. There was a city north of us that did musicals, but we didn't really go see it. And so when I got to college, I kind of was exposed to musical theater almost for the first time. I didn't really listen to it a lot growing up, which is weird because I do it and I love musical theater, but I'm still playing catch up. So I'm a little bit behind a lot of other people in my line of work. Oh, Cheryl, The Land Before Time. Yes, I should have said that. Petrie. I love The Land Before Time. We had those VHSs. So I should emphasize, we did have other movies. We had The Land Before Time. We had like all of those. Tons of VeggieTales. So much VeggieTales. What else? Homeward Bound 1 and 2. Definitely that. Corey, I started Lupin. I didn't know it was French, and so I had my concussion, so I couldn't watch it at that point. But I very much want to watch it. I got like 30 seconds in, and I was like, "Oh, I can't do this right now," so I turned it off. Yes, The Sound of Music is amazing. Fabricius. I have not watched any run BTS, but I've heard that I should. I might do reactions to it at some point. Probably. Singing in the Rain, I've seen that, definitely. Camelot, I think I saw. Yeah, Scooby-Doo. Love VeggieTales. If you like to talk. 2 tomatoes. Boom, boom. Yeah, I watched so much VeggieTales. It's always so fun when you can like find out whether or not someone watched VeggieTales by accidentally referencing a silly song with Larry, which I do a lot. I didn't know there were new VeggieTales, Holly. And apparently they're scary. That's scary. Natalie, you haven't seen the sound. Oh, not just Sound of Music. I thought you said just not. Yeah, I have seen a lot of musicals. I just haven't caught up on all of them. American in Paris, I did watch when I was recovering from a concussion in college, so I should probably rewatch it. I did audition for the musical recently, so who knows? Who knows? Danny, I feel like I know the name Karen. Sorry, I have the hiccups all of a sudden. I might need to see a picture. Matt, The Simpsons. So The Simpsons we were not allowed to watch because it was fairly inappropriate for us being in like middle school or something. But we would watch it, and eventually my parents were like, whatever, you're just allowed to watch it now because we're all watching it anyway. So Veggies in the House. Weird, Holly. Don't be embarrassed, Jen, as long as you saw VeggieTales eventually. You never saw a VeggieTale. You know what's interesting about VeggieTales is they were doing some incredibly advanced 3D modeling and technology for their time. So it's just this like outstanding work that they were doing, and they had like major studios calling them and saying, how are you doing this 3D rendering? This is nuts. This is so good. Oh, there's 155 episodes of Run BTS. Oh my goodness. I won't regret it though, according to Natalie. So, you know. No, Fabricius, your internet cut out. Okay, what was your question? I'll re-answer it for you so you can hear it. Let me go back up to it. No, I have not watched any Run BTS yet. Not yet. Let me go back. Where was it at? Oh, ERN. Have I gone to any BTS concerts? Or am I going to any? I haven't. I could not have gone to any upcoming concerts. I cannot afford to. So, if any of you wanted to buy me a ticket, that would be great. But I'm an actor, so I don't have a lot of money because I'm, not the actor. I'm an actor, so I'm not swimming in cash. Because when I'm not acting, YouTube is kind of the thing. And, I don't want to come across as ungrateful, but I'm not swimming in money. Like somebody said, they're looking forward to me getting 1 million subscribers. Me too, but I'm not there yet. So I cannot afford to. But if any of you wanted to buy me a ticket, let's go. Yeah, I can't afford a plane ride across the country. I actually had to turn down a job in LA recently because, they said, hey, we want you out in LA. And I was like, can you pay for flights? And they were like, nope. And I was like, I can't go then because it's like $1,000 and I just can't drop that right now. Maheen, my favorite BTS song until right now. It's really tough. I feel like it changes a lot. I'm going to say Life Goes On. I really like Life Goes On a lot. But certainly the rock version of Fake Love is way up there. That's really good. And I think it would be On if On had the dance break, the whole drum section in the actual version you listen to. So that's definitely that. Definitely. Well, Natalie, I'm glad that Run BTS has been helping you. There's certainly an aspect of distracting yourself from pain for sure. Jen, you're right. Money isn't everything. Living your dream job is. I get to do what I love and do what I've always dreamed of doing, and that's incredible. Unfortunately, money is a good amount of functioning, but that's not where we get our satisfaction. Hopefully, ideally, that's not where we do that. Yeah, I would love to go see Dimash as well. Dimash would be incredible. I'd love to go to a Dimash concert. I feel like that might be what kills me. It's like Dimash or BTS, either of them live would be just remarkable performances to see. Remarkable. TXT, I've heard I'm supposed to check them out. Although 19-minute music videos is a lot. That is a lot. That's not bad. I'm sure they're very, very good. It's just like you have to think. So 19 minutes, right? So to do a reaction to that would probably take me, as far as recording, it would probably be 30, 40 minutes, right? Based on my usual strategy of how I do things. Plus the setup and teardown would be at least an hour for that one video. Then editing that, I would bet editing a 19-minute long video, doing the reaction for it, that would probably take me 8 or 9 hours. So that's why I don't do TV or movies when you see people doing those reactions. I just do not have the time at all to do that. Not even a little bit. No. Yes, I will definitely check out more of Stray Kids, because the thing about, especially with K-pop and with Dimash too, with his music videos, is it really stretches my brain as a director, as an editor, because they do so much that like isn't the standard in like the American way of making things. And so it really pushes me to go, oh, well, that's an interesting camera angle, or oh, that's an interesting punch in. Like there's not a 30-degree separation, or hey, this is really hyper saturated. Maybe I already said that. There's a lot of hyper saturation, and oh, that production design is fascinating. Oh, they're not focusing as much on the realism of this. They're focusing a lot more on the mood of a space. They're trying to evoke things. Bye, Lily Duck. Thank you for being here. I hope you had fun. But it's sort of, it stretches my brain as a creative, and even as a writer, it makes me go, okay, well, how can I evoke the same thing there? Like, what can I do for that? Okay, sorry, back to the chat. I went off on a bit of a tangent. Hi, Sush, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm happy you're popping in. Yeah, Sush, that was my fear when I was starting this channel. Was I'm worried that I'm gonna like ruin movies for people, but I want to help people see things. So you're gonna start seeing lines and cinematography and angles and why they might cut to a certain thing, or where a light is, that kind of thing. Maheen, thank you for coming. I'm so glad you enjoyed. Thanks for being so active and hanging out. I'll see you next time for sure. Could just do straight up reactions for your Patreons without editing. That's true. I could do that. I could, but the issue is, MWF, the issue is that I just don't have a lot of time to put aside to doing more videos. So it's not as much an issue of like it's even just recording the videos, because the other thing about doing the reactions is it's very engaged. I don't really watch a lot of TV even, because it's not really how my brain relaxes. So I have to be in a particular headspace to be able to sit down and do reactions, because it's like I have to be hyper present in what I'm doing. Does that make sense? And so when I'm screenwriting or I'm editing and then I go, okay, I have to do a reaction now, it's like I have to realign my brain and function in a different way to be able to do that. Now, it's not like a personality thing. It's not a performance thing. It's my first time reacting to things. And instead of like a movie where I can go, oh, I just noticed that or something, like I have to pick up on things really, really quickly. So it's kind of a challenge in that sense, I don't know if that makes any sense at all. But I'd love to do more videos. It's just an issue of time, and time is money, and like I have to weigh the cost balance thing. I love YouTube. I love helping you guys out, but it's not. It's not. It's paying some bills, and I appreciate that. I'm really trying to say, I hope you all understand my intent. Like, I'm not trying to discount how much I really, really love and appreciate all of your support at all. It's just I have to balance paying my bills and being able to function with also what I want to do. And I really don't want to. Now, I'm very blessed to have been acting a lot lately and getting a lot of work, but I really don't want to have to go back to getting a day job, because that just adds this whole other layer to it. And so it's tough to find the balance. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm trying to explain it without making you all feel inconsequential, because I really appreciate all of you a lot. Like, look at how many of you are popping in the chat. Like, that's incredible. So thank you so much for that. Natalie, I'm so glad that you learn a lot. Katya, welcome. Thank you for being here. A German deer. Love that. Strome. Corey, I will add those to my list. I've never even heard of them. I'm really intrigued. Fabricius, I'm really glad that it does, that it enriches those things, because you can see the amount of work that goes into, like, it's weird with film, because if you do your job really, really well, as like a sound mixer, for example, the person that records all the audio, if you do your job really, really well, no one will ever notice you. And that's really tough. Carrie, of course. No, I don't want any of you to think that I'm like trying to guilt you into giving me money or something. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm just trying to explain. No, Carrie, I just appreciate you watching the videos as well. Definitely. That means so much to me. Like when I started this channel, just doing the BTS Dynamite reaction, I didn't think anybody was going to watch anything. So the fact that any of you decide that my videos are worth, 20 minutes of your day is still kind of mind-blowing to me, and I'm super, super, super appreciative of that. Definitely. Let's take a water break, everyone. Fair enough, Jen, that you zoned out, but please do your homework. Like, definitely do your homework. You gotta do that. The Timeless Child Reborn. What advice would I give to someone who has a massive passion and love for acting and wants to do it but has no professional experience? The best advice that I can give to you is to do it. Is to take, I don't know what kind of phone you have, but take your phone and go out and just start shooting things and see what works. Steal. Watch actors you really, really like and steal from them. Take this whole take like Ewan McGregor. I really like Ewan McGregor, and so I spend a lot of time watching Ewan McGregor and going, let me borrow this from him, and then I try to emulate it. I try to emulate accents. I try to do all those things just by practicing, and so flip things and take a camera outside and just try it. Pick up Shakespeare and try to read it and fail to read it, and then watch the play and go, oh, okay, I see what they're doing there. Hey, that part didn't make sense, and then watch a different one. That kind of thing. Like, try to explore what others are doing and then do it for yourself, and then record yourself on a phone and try to throw it in iMovie and edit it together and go, hey, that didn't work, and that's okay. So most of what you're going to make is going to be really, really bad. Like a lot of the early stuff is going to be awful, and that's super important. It has to be bad, because without making the bad stuff, you can't make the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go through the bumps and bruises. You have to go through a lot of what my early reactions were, which is like, I think maybe decent stuff, but flawed, like stuff I watch back and I'm like, hey, that's out of focus, or that's weird, that sort of thing. And so just do things and create them and see, is this something you really, really like? And if it is really good, then you're going to grow in your talent and you're going to get better and you're going to push yourself to get better. And you can slowly build out for yourself a demo reel, some clips. Doing community theater is great. Community theater is the lifeblood of the theater and film industry in this country. And so just going out, I don't know if you're in this country, I guess I shouldn't assume that, but at least in America, like doing that local theater, but pushing yourself to perform wherever you are with whatever you have. And then if you have a passion for it, and if you have a passion for it, you're going to push yourself to get better, right? So just keep doing it and push yourself and really be deep and analytical about it and go, what do I need to improve at? That sort of thing. And so, that's what I would recommend. Just do that and just go and make it and find people that also want to make it and that want to spend that time with you, and it'll happen. Oh, Natalie, that's wonderful. I love that. I love that this has been helpful for you and your own music and your own music videos. I love that. That's really, really great. Yes, Army Mama T7. Yes. Yes, that is exactly what happened. And thankfully I can keep doing this while I'm working. It's just a matter of making sure that bills are getting paid, because that's less my concern, more the people that I have to pay the bills to that want the money. Carrie, I'm so glad that the videos have helped. As someone who's still going through pain from a car accident as well, I'm so glad that I was able to be there for you and give you some sense of community and relationship with that. That's really, really wonderful to hear. So thank you. Thank you for saying that. I hope you're doing better. I hope you're healing. I know that can be a process. Believe me, I'm still dealing with the concussion and whatnot. So I'm with you 100%. Jem, no, you're absolutely correct. I don't want to discount my own work and what I'm doing, but I want to be honest about it with myself as well. MWF, yes, I totally hear what you're saying. Definitely. Uh, Part of the thing with editing me is you guys notice when I do live stuff, I tend to say a lot of my editing is cutting out the uhs. It's because I think, and I'm not trying to say that I'm smart. Believe me, I'm not saying that. I think it's because my brain races so fast that I can't quite keep up with it. I think it's partially ADD, some of the other stuff like my brain's like, phew, like it's going off in this other direction. And sometimes the is me going, wait a minute, where are you? What are we talking about? Right. So that sort of situation, but maybe I will. We'll see about that. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Meryl Streep steals from everybody. Everybody. And we all steal from Meryl Streep. Or you missed your fitness class. Oh no. I didn't go to the gym this morning because my stomach hurt. But now it feels better and I'm just too busy to go. Carrie, sprained shoulder and whiplash. Yeah, whiplash is awful because that's what I have whiplash right now from my car accident. So yeah, my shoulder not an issue, but the ribs that were cracked. Yeah, I know the feeling. It hurts. So I'm with you. I'll be thinking of you, and I hope you heal up and definitely take your physical therapy seriously. Please take care of yourself. And yeah, Natalie, tough time for everybody not feeling great. Kristen, thanks for popping in. I hope you're well. The 21st. Is that the AMAs, I guess. That's Sunday. So that's exciting. Yes, Jim, I should probably go to the gym. My thing was I went to the gym all the time when I was in Sunset Boulevard, and then the musical itself was so exhausting that I didn't go. And then I was shooting the film. Like I came back, I had 2 days at home, and then I went to shoot the film in New Jersey, which again was a lot of physical stuff. So I wasn't really going to the gym. I was, walking in New York for a while, et cetera, et cetera. And then I came back and I was in the car accident. So I've been able to go to the gym for a couple weeks now, like a month or so. And so I went to the gym earlier this week and maybe did a bit too much, and I'm really sore, and I kind of want to let that heal and rest. Can you guys hear how loud this is? It goes. It's a fun water bottle. I enjoy it. Let's see. I missed some of the comments here. Yeah, car accidents, not good. Erical, we're talking about so many things. It's just we're just floating through space right now, talking about all different kinds of things. So thank you for being here. I'm glad you're happy to see me. Ghostbusters Afterlife, Carrie. I hope you're going to see that. I hope you enjoy. Yes, MWF. I am going to do a reaction to Ave Maria. I know a lot of you know that I watched it back in August, but I will do a reaction to it because there's a lot of really, really cool stuff that he's doing in that. So I will do a reaction to it. With some time in between, maybe now I can do almost like a blind reaction. So that'll be really, really fun. No, gym, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I took a month off from the gym. I felt pretty good about it, and I didn't go crazy hard at the gym or anything. It's more like I think I pushed my legs a bit too much, which my legs were fine from the car accident. I just, I stretched plenty. I think I just maybe lifted a bit too much. I was doing squats, so maybe that was too much. That's okay. Their concert online. I assume BTS's. I don't know. I hope you all get to watch it online. Tuning in here from yeah. I mean, my thing is with YouTube. It's been a bit over a year now, barely over a year since I started this channel, and I got to be honest with you guys. I really liked watching reaction videos, so I thought, well, what if I did one of these? That was really all that this came from was like I really liked watching reactions. And I thought the ones that I like are the vocal coaches that break down how singers are doing things. And so what if I went in and I started breaking down cinematography and editing and acting? I didn't expect to love BTS. I didn't expect to discover Dimash. I didn't expect to discover Sohyang and Hua Chen Yu, and I already knew Pentatonics, obviously, but kind of break down some of their stuff. I didn't expect to discover like all these remarkable artists that I had never heard of. I didn't expect to be reading Damien by Hermann Hesse and getting into Jungian psychology. And what I also didn't expect is for it to have impacted my work the way that it has. Even a script that I had been working on since long before I started my BTS videos deals an enormous amount with the themes of the Bangtan universe that have worked their way into my script. And so that's been really, really special about this whole thing, has been figuring out how that's going to work for me. And also just, it gives me, I'm editing all the time now. I'm back in editing videos. And that's why I throw in special effects and stuff sometimes, is because it's a chance for me to practice and work on that as well. So I'm really, really glad that that you guys all really, really enjoy that. And I am going to pop off here in a bit because I do have to go. I do have to go actually get some more writing done today. It's a Friday. Granted, I'll do work tomorrow and Sunday because football, I can just sit there and type while football's on. But I am going to have to go and actually get a little bit of work done. So I hope that all of you have enjoyed this live hangout, and I've enjoyed spending time with you, and I just always enjoy it. You guys are all great, and I've really, really enjoyed this. And Karen, thank you so much. And Sue, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope, if he ends up watching, ideally I can impart some kind of wisdom or some kind of enjoyment. But I guess more than anything, what I want from my videos is, like, I want to teach people stuff about film. I want to teach you like why they might be doing something with a white balance, or why there's a color grade thing happening and that sort of thing. But what I really want to impart with people is to like be passionate and do what they love. I think that's what's really important. Corey, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I really hope you enjoyed. And I really appreciate this whole community. Jim, yeah, I can't emotionally give myself all to football because the Bengals are too much. And Kristen, the Pats did do very, very well. They did. I watched the game, or I watched the first half. I went to bed at halftime because I was tired. But thank you all so much for watching, and I just hope that all of you discover your time and your passion, and that you can be passionate about it, and that you appreciate and accept passionate people, because I think it's weirdly popular in our society to like tear people down for what they're excited and passionate about, especially women. It's this trend of like, we mock especially young women for like what they enjoy. And I think a lot of BTS fans experience that. Like, people make fun of BTS just because young women enjoy it. And that's problematic for a number of reasons. But I think it's just really popular to hate things, and that's just lazy. Like, what if we just enjoy what we all enjoy? And what if we just let that happen? So I love film, and I'm so glad that this is a space where I can help people appreciate that, and help people enjoy what they enjoy. And it's an honor to be able to do that. Karen, I'm glad I'm able to help you look cool to your kid. But thank you all so much for hanging out. Jen, you have a great day too. And all of you, everybody, have a great day. Please, 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 please take care of yourselves. Drink so much water and coffee if you need it. This is a blueberry coffee brew that I've got, or blueberry cobbler coffee that I've got going on here. So thank you so much for watching. We'll hang out again in the near future, but until then, please take care of yourselves. Fix your posture. Pull your shoulders back. Look at this. Pull your shoulders back. You might look like a jerk. You might look like Captain America, but you know what you're gonna look like? Like you have great posture. So please drink lots of water, get some sleep, practice self-care, look in the mirror and say, you're great. Be well. I'll see you next time. Bye. Let's see, end stream. There it is. Okay, I'll leave it now.